What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the All-22 review. I'm Fran Duffy, and today we're going to take a look back at some of the most impressive moments from the Eagles' big win on the road against the New York Jets. And we're going to start on the offensive side of the football with tight end Dallas Goedert. He was a featured part of this passing attack early on, and the Eagles found several ways to be able to get him the football. 2 touchdowns on the Eagles' first 2 drives. Let's start with those plays. How did Dallas Goedert get into the end zone? Let's take a look at exactly how they made it happen.
Let's see what the Eagles did to get Dallas Goedert a couple touchdowns here. We'll take a look at both. It's 2nd and 1, Eagles in 12 personnel. There's Dallas Goedert in a closed formation coming in motion here from left to right. Now, that's going to help create the matchup on the linebacker off play action. Watch, he's able to get that free release up to the second level, and that's where his athleticism takes over. He runs right by C.J. Mosley, and he's just running to green grass. That closed formation, that created some space there over the top for Goedert to work. Does a nice job playing through contact at the catch point and comes away with the touchdown. And we'll take a look at this from the end zone angle. Again, the motion gets him away from the safety 33, gets him on the linebacker 57, and he's just running away in that matchup, and is able to win downfield for a touchdown on the opening drive. Later, next drive, you got the Eagles once again in an empty set. Here, you're going to see Boston Scott motion inside, little short motion, and it's just going to be a simple rub route, a simple pick play with Boston Scott and Dallas Goedert. Very similar to the Devontae Smith touchdown on the opening game of the season, the opening drive against Atlanta. You're going to see Dallas Goedert win along the right sideline. Ball's a little bit underthrown, but he makes a nice adjustment, runs into the end zone. The Eagles take the lead there on that play. Outstanding job from everybody involved. You love the pocket here, an empty set, so nobody extra back there to protect Gardner Minshew. He stands back and delivers for 6 points. Eagles really creative getting Dallas Goedert the ball in this game.
So those 2 touchdowns, not the only times Dallas Goedert was fed the football here in this game. And I thought the Eagles were really creative with how they got number 88 the ball in space. Screen game, RPOs, some really well-designed pass concepts. Let's take a look at some of my favorite reps.
The Eagles found lots of creative ways to get Dallas the ball, and it started on the opening drive. You could see him here in a 12 personnel set, closed formation, off play action. Gardner Minshew is going to drop back, and this is going to be a simple 3-count screen to Dallas Goedert. Everybody's lifting. You get a lot of vertical routes. Look at all of that green grass for Dallas Goedert to go, and he's got 22 yards after the catch there on that play. Outstanding job from the Eagles offense. Later, you're going to see Dallas Goedert, bottom of the screen this time. This one is going to be off play action. I love the design here from this Eagles offense. You get the motion from Watkins. The Eagles selling play action hard, not just with the running back, but with Jordan Mailata pulling from the backside. Look what that does to the Jets defense. That whole side of the field is removed, and now you get Jason Kelce out in front. Dallas Goedert able to take off 15 yards after the catch there to move the chains for a first down. Earlier in the game, you've got Dallas Goedert once again involved in the short passing game, this time off an RPO. This has been one of the staple plays for this Eagles offense this season. Quick throw to the flat. Goddard's able to make that first man miss, and he takes off for a first down. It's been a staple for this Eagles offense this year. And then lastly, let's take a look at Dallas Goedert, this time in motion in the backfield. Look at what they did to get him a free release up to the linebacker. This is going to be an intermediate route, some eye candy in the backfield, but the stunt from the Jets created a little bit of interference there, so Gardner Minshew has to settle for the check down. But you could see how wide open Dallas Goedert was on that play. That could have been a huge one. I love the creativity shown here from this coaching staff to find ways to get 88 the football.
Well, Dallas Goedert not the only featured pass target in this game. And when it came to 3rd down, Gardner Minshew really hooked up numerous times with Watkins. The second-year wide receiver on 3rd and long was a go-to weapon for Gardner Minshew in this game, especially on some of these crossing routes. I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Let's take a look at 3 Watkins catches here, all 3 of these on 3rd down. And we see him here lined up inside, reduced split on 3rd and 6. He's just going to run a crossing route. This is a simple crosser against man coverage. He's going to use his speed to get open for a first down. Great job here winning off the ball and running away from man coverage. Tough ball in the back hip. He's able to come away with this catch, past the chains for a first down. Good job there by Watkins. Later, you're going to get Quez once again. This one 3rd and very long, 3rd and 18. Deep crosser, good stick at the top of the route. He's able to break himself open for a first down, and then a similar kind of play here later in the game. Second half, it's 3rd and 10. Watch Watkins throw a little stick at the top of the route here. A little bit of interference. Does a nice job of working the spacing of this route. Breaks open for a first down past the chains. Watkins making himself available on 3rd and long.
Now let's get to the run game, where the Eagles once again nearly hit 200 yards rushing. For the 5th time in a row, ran for over 175 yards. Just an outstanding performance from the running backs and from the offensive line. And let's start up there with the blocking. I thought there were a number of really impressive concepts from the Eagles that they haven't quite shown yet here this year, but then also the execution across the board really strong from the offensive line, tight ends, and the receivers getting involved. Let's get to a few examples.
I thought the execution of the Eagles in the run game was outstanding on Sunday. We're going to take a look at this Kenny Gainwell touchdown run in the first quarter. It starts with a double team. This is power football. Double team up to the backside backer. You're going to get the pulling guard up to the play side backer. Really good job up front by the offensive line. Good job by Dallas Goedert hanging on against the DN. One final block comes from Jalen Reagor, and that's what springs Kenny Gainwell here for the touchdown. Outstanding job against the safety. Reagor springs Gainwell free, and you get a touchdown there in the high red zone. Great job there all across the board for the Eagles offense. Later, you get Miles Sanders. This is going to be a counter run from the Eagles, where you're going to get some pin blocks there from the right guard and right tackle. You're going to have Jason Kelce and Jordan Mailata pulling. This is going to be a center tackle counter play. Really decisive run by Miles Sanders, playing off this block from Jordan Mailata. Gets up to the second level. There's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Miles does a good job playing off that block as well, and he's off to the races for a 38-yard gain on the ground. Outstanding job across the board by the Eagles on that play. That was the second time in a row that they ran that play for a big gain. Here, you're going to get a trap run. This is going to be a downhill run, and watch the block here from Nate Herbig coming from the backside. Good influence there from Landon Dickerson. That sets up this trap block, and this is going to be a downhill scheme. Nice job by Miles Sanders playing through that contact in the backfield. He's going to just run off those blocks there from Jordan Mailata up at the second level, and he's able to go 8 yards here on first down. That's a positive play for the Eagles downhill. Lastly, we're going to look at a 13 personnel perimeter run play. Eagles in a stretch zone scheme here, and they're going to have a tough assignment against a slanting defensive line. But look at the job that everybody across the board does of kind of surfacing these blocks and getting the edge on these defenders. Outstanding job, Landon Dickerson and Jordan Mailata creating that seal. Nice job by Miles Sanders getting downhill, moving the chains here on first down.
So a couple of really good runs there from Kenny Gainwell and Miles Sanders. And speaking of Miles, I thought he ran especially hard in this game, especially fighting that ankle injury. A lot of credit to number 26 and the way he battled through this one. A couple of my favorite runs went for less than 5 yards. And for a couple of examples, here they are.
I thought Miles Sanders was really decisive in this game against the Jets, and it wasn't always pretty. It wasn't always for the 12 or 18-yard run. Here it's 2nd and 1. Looking to just put his foot in the ground, execute a nice athletic cut here, cut up through the teeth of the defense. He gets another one out to the perimeter. You just saw he was really decisive, willing to hit it up in between the tackles, play off double teams, stick his shoulder down, and go forward for 3, 4 yards, 5 yards. You can see all these runs, they're for modest gains, but he did a nice job of being decisive. There wasn't a lot of wasted movement on a majority of these runs. Watch him play off blocks. He does a good job of understanding, hey, there's color in the hole. Now's the time where I can execute this jump cut. And look how decisive he is at picking his way through the trash, getting downhill, staying square to the line of scrimmage, and moving the chains in these situations. I thought Miles, this was one of his better games of just running the football, staying square, and picking up positive yardage, especially with what he was dealing with from an injury standpoint. Got to throw some love at number 26.
Let's now transition over to the defensive side of the football, where they really put the clamps down on this Jets offense after those first couple of drives. And we saw some turnovers, we saw some sacks, we saw some turnover on downs, some 3 and outs. The defense really showed up in those final 3 quarters. And for an example of that, let's take a look at Marcus Epps and this interception. 3rd down, 3rd and long. I thought there was a great play call, great design. I want to show you what Jonathan Gannon put on display.
Really fun interception here from the Eagles defense. It's 3rd and 10 in plus territory, and you see what the Eagles show pre-snap. Too high shell. The middle of the field is open. The deep middle of the field is open. That's what it looks like pre-snap to Zach Wilson. The Eagles did plenty of it. But after the snap, look at the rotation. Now you've got both safeties, Rodney McLeod and Anthony Harris, stepping up right by the sticks. They're taking away those middle of the field throws in the intermediate area where the Jets had success early in this game. Marcus Epps, he rotated back to the post, and now he's right there for this interception. So a little pre-snap disguise, the post-snap movement from the Eagles secondary, that helps result in this interception. And we take a look, once again, just a 4-man rush from the Eagles on 3rd down. The Jets are sliding towards number 91, Fletcher Cox. That creates the one-on-one with Hargrave. He gets a late win here against the rookie Vera Tucker. He's a split second away from getting that hit on Zach Wilson. That throw still comes out a little bit wobbly, a little bit high. Marcus Epps there for the interception. After starting close to the line of scrimmage, rotates back to the post, comes away with the pick.
So very often you'll have the front that can impact the coverage and create some good plays on the back end. And sometimes you're going to get the vice versa, right? You're going to get the coverage impacting the front that will lead to some sacks. We saw that on this Josh Sweat takedown of Zach Wilson.
Let's take a look at the sack here from Josh Sweat in the first half. 3rd and 3. We're going to take a look at this from a coverage standpoint first. Little pre-snap motion. You see the Eagles bump out. That's a sign for zone coverage. And you've got great discipline from everybody up front here from the Eagles underneath zone coverage. You've got a great job from those two inside guys, Rodney McLeod and Alex Singleton, taking away that throw to the number 2 receiver. Really good match zone principles there from the Eagles defense, and it results in a sack on Zach Wilson. If we take a look at this from the end zone angle, you take a look at the front. Here it's just a basic 4-man rush. And what do the Jets decide to do? They're going to slide the protection towards number 91, Fletcher Cox. And as we've talked about plenty, that creates the one-on-one for Javon Hargrave against the left guard, Elijah Vera Tucker. You get good pushback from Hargrave. Barnett does a nice job of spinning back inside. That gets Zach Wilson off his spot. He tries to escape the pocket and ends up running right into a thunderous sack from Josh Sweat. Clean hit. Eagles get off the field on 3rd down.
So great execution there by the entire Eagles defense, and Josh Sweat coming away with the sack. Josh Sweat made another play outside the numbers, chasing a screen pass down the field, and that was a consistent theme from this Eagles defensive front. I thought there were a number of plays where the defensive line could not get home, but they did a great job of chasing the ball downfield outside the numbers. Here are some of my favorites.
Really love what I saw from this defensive line. And the sacks weren't always there for this unit, but the effort was nonstop. Watch Javon Hargrave here taking off for this screen early in the game, saves a touchdown, takes that off the board. Great effort there from Javon Hargrave. Now let's take a look at Fletcher Cox chasing the screen backside. He does a great job here against Tevin Coleman. Look at him stick his foot in the ground, chase laterally, and make this play outside the numbers near the sideline. Great effort there from number 91. Later in the game, you're going to see, again, look at the effort from Jannard Avery at the strong side linebacker position. Look at the speed. Look at the burst to close here on plays from the perimeter. Same thing. Watch Jannard Avery left side of the screen on an end around. Really well executed play from the Jets. Look at Avery get on his horse, and he chases his play, not just outside the numbers, but downfield, and helps get the ball carrier down. And then lastly, you get the wily vet there in Ryan Kerrigan. He's chasing this play down the field. This is 4th quarter. This is garbage time. You get that effort from everybody across the board. Really good violent strip attempt there from Kerrigan, trying to create a turnover. Love the effort this defensive front plays with on a weekly basis.
All right, so a big win there for this Eagles team on the road. Once again, doing a great job away from Lincoln Financial Field. Going into the bye week now, the Eagles getting some much-needed rest, gearing up for this home stretch. 4 games, all against NFC East opponents. We'll be back to break it all down right here on the All-22 Review.